Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again on this occasion of the coronavirus here in the United States of America. I'd like to take the opportunity to dedicate this particular presentation to my brother, Booker Telemetry Williams. Hey, Book. Ladies and gentlemen, I don't have to recall the problems that this coronavirus is causing all across this country. It is basically affecting every one of us in some way or another. Even the ones who don't even care about what's going on as far away from their minds as ever before. The things that they would have been doing, that has been changed by those who are not just thinking like that. So in other words, coronavirus is devastating itself from place to place, nation to nation, and it has a potential of wiping out an entire population. But this is not the first time that potential existed, and we've always, the human race, have been able to overcome it. And the hope is that it would happen as this continues, and we'll overcome it. There are a couple of things that I wanted to draw attention, ladies and gentlemen. One is this. I feel like I should be laughing and rejoicing and I guess partying. This is a Saturday. Or just being feel good. But instead of feeling that way, I feel like I should ball over and cry. I mean, if it wasn't me, I would think that a person such as this would be depressed. I just can't accept that. But the thing that makes me feel that way is this. I heard it mentioned through the public media that Trump, in addition to all the efforts that they're going to try to do to contain this virus, the people who make money, who are losing money, the big business, like the ships, the cruise ships, the planes that's been shut down, and all of these other people that's losing money. I heard Trump, as a Republican and as a money man, talk about how he was going to use, he didn't say the word, but going to use the socialist tactics to compensate and make up for the difference that these businesses have lost. They always do that. They're always bailing out the big guys. But I heard something equal to that by the Democrats. They were saying that this time what they were going to do is make sure that the public, the main people who have been incapacitated due to this situation, who couldn't go to their jobs, who couldn't do the things that they would normally be doing to make some money to take care of the things that they had to take care of. He was saying that the Democrats this time was going to take that effort to make sure that these people who weren't receiving checks because they weren't going to work will receive those checks, the same equal amount that they were receiving when they were working. And this could happen up to 4 months or 6 months if it had to. I heard them say that all the stops would be removed to try to see if they can take care of the situation. And it was amazing to me when I heard it, ladies and gentlemen. I want to say that is absolutely fantastic. But it's a shame. It's a shame that you don't see what happened. They talk about socialism. Yet we're in a situation right now where they're going to use socialism to help big business. They're going to use socialism to help you who are losing. What you're not knowing, and I'm sure that you don't care, is you are creating through this situation the biggest debt you can ever imagine that's going to be taking generations and generations and generations in the future to pay it back. Well, no big problem. You've been paying the debt back from the past. And so what you actually have is a debt continuation. Our whole society, not just here, but everywhere, is about money, 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 borrowing, 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 borrowing. And that's the plan. That's what just drives me mad, ladies and gentlemen. For 36 years, I've talked to you about this plan. You see, you being played. Democratic capitalism would not permit you to experience what the Republicans and the Democrats are going to try to do for you, the people, in business, without you coming back, having to pay all that stuff back. And ladies and gentlemen, I keep coming telling you that the offer of life designed it so nothing like this would happen. You never have to experience this. And yet, even though you didn't do it, they have bought into this game, making laws, passing laws to mess over the people. The people voting on laws to mess over themselves don't even know it. It's a normal thing. It's just like, they're talking about alternative truths. Instead of being a lie, being an alternative truth. And people say, I'll go through this for a year, next thing you know, it'll be normal. And see, this hustle that the people of this earth have been exposed to and continues to be victimized by is normal. And when you come here, ladies and gentlemen, you should see right now what my message is. Some people are going to be working and they will be receiving their paychecks. Others will not be working. But it is due to the situation that prevents them from working, and they will receive their paychecks continuous. And when this thing is overcome, then they'll go back to their jobs and continue doing their work and continue to get paid. Now, this money that you're receiving, it's going to be compensated for. It's going to be compensated by the people. You can bet your last money on that. But the point of it is that for a temporary cause, it's going to work fine for you. My point of it is, and the message of heaven is, if it works temporarily and can work always, then why not allow it to work always? Why not allow, just like you're doing now, people to engage themselves so that they can receive what has been required in life to say you're living, not questioning your needs, your wants, and your desires, because they're going to be met. Listen to me. Not worried about whether there will be peace and prosperity and freedom, enjoying in your life, and your dreams come true. And all of those things that are essential for survival for humans, like food, clothing, shelter, education, and health care, all of that will be taken care of. I think about the health care thing, education thing. I am a college graduate. But you know why I am a college graduate? A couple of reasons. I wanted to go to college, and I went on a scholarship. I didn't have to pay. Maybe somebody paid, I don't know, but I didn't have to pay. Had I to pay to go to college myself, I would not have gone. 4 children have grown up in the same household with me, and every last one of them wanted to go to college. I wanted them to go to college. Not a single one of them have gone to college. Why? Because of what I see, ladies and gentlemen. It is the vision in my head. And what is this I see? I see this whole globe, but I won't go that far. Let me just keep here in America. As an established part of hell. I see it, let me say this again, I see America in its system of government as an established part of hell. Now, just so you'll understand what I mean when I say established part, I mean the whole humanity rests in hell. This earth was meant to be heavenly, but it is used for the opposite. And it has rooms. I call the rooms in this earth, I call one of them democracy. That describes America that you know. That's one of the rooms. Now, the reason I say it's in hell is because it has its haves and it has its have-nots. It got its pain and it's got its sufferings. It's got its good times and bad times, and it got it going up and down all the time. So that stuff don't happen in heaven, so it got to be hell. All right, there's another room. I call it socialism. Socialism, that seems to be a wonderful thing, except the way it's instituted by men, it always have that manliness coming to the top. What does that mean? That means there's always somebody that's getting over on somebody. They don't even see it as being power and having authority unless they're getting over on somebody. So when you're talking about equality in socialism, it does not exist on this planet. So that's one of the rooms. If you think I'm lying, go to any socialist country. Let's go to Cuba. There's a lot of things that you can be proud of in Cuba, but there are a lot of things that drive you mad. And that's in any socialist country. So that's a problem. Ain't no problem in God's kingdom. Okay, that's one room. Let's see if we go to another one. Let's go to communists. Let's go. One of these rooms is communism. Now, I don't know what your education levels are, but whatever communism represents, you know, a few years ago, they were trying to say that there were communists here in America, and all hell broke loose. They said it was almost as bad as this coronavirus. Somebody, just like this man said Barack Obama wasn't of this country, somebody else was saying that some people were communists trying to take over this country. And hell broke loose. Same old thing, communism. That's one of the rooms. Now there's another room in this hell. It's called dictatorships. That's where you better not say nothing. Somebody take an axe and cut your head off, blow your brain off in the elevator with people on there and not worried about what's going to happen. As a message to the person that's in the elevator, anybody that's seeing, don't you cross. Now that's one heck of a way to live, isn't it? Well, that's one of the rooms in this hell. So there are other rooms. I'll let you label them because I know you're smarter than I am and you know a lot more than me. Just label them, and none of them are meeting the needs of heaven for the people. So I call this hell. Now, the real reason, having gotten that information, that my kids didn't go to college, I didn't have the money. I didn't have the money. Why? Because as I said earlier, I work for a different person. I work for a power that I can't see, a spirit. I call it God. I don't work for the one that say, through this system, they're going to be haves and they're going to be have-nots. I don't work for that. I used to. But the one I work for now gave me a new message, told me to go out here and tell you that everything that exists on this earth that's made by human beings belong to all human beings that work. That all of the resources necessary, you know it's true, you do it every day, comes from a power that you can't see, can't touch, can't feel, and you can't make it up. And because the evidence is there, and you didn't do it. But the ability to transform that resources to whatever you want it to be, that comes from humankind. So it has been set up that every last one of you would benefit from the things of this life. And since you will benefit from it, you got something to participate in the production thereof, which makes you a part owner in it. And that makes you a part owner in it, ladies and gentlemen. Do you see that? Can't you see that the houses that's being built on this land, that the bridges, the highways, the planes, the trains, the infrastructure, all of this stuff belongs to humanity because you built it. It didn't cost you nothing. That thing with money, nothing but a game to empower themselves over you. And it's a demonic game. And I know it's normal for some. It was normal for me. Everybody that goes to a job and get a paycheck, you don't know it. It's normal. But and I hear people say it all the time. Well, I was hurting and I needed a job. I got on my knees. I prayed to God, and God gave me a job. God ain't gave you nothing. You got that job the same way the person who ain't thought about God got it. You applied for it because you wanted it. And when you applied, you had what they wanted, and they say, give her a chance, give him a chance. That's why you got that job. God ain't had no more input in you getting that job than he had in the Minnesota Vikings losing every Super Bowl they've been to. They weren't good enough. And he wasn't going to make them good when they weren't good. Now, if you got a job, it's because they needed what you had to offer. And if you didn't, you'd have been sent on the street corner. But not in God's kingdom. Because in God's kingdom, You got something that's good. You got something that's needed. You got something that can't be done without. And you won't be sitting on no bridge. You won't be at no shelter. You won't be at no mission. And you won't be walking around with your head down trying to feel smaller than somebody else because they got something you don't. And they definitely will put you down when they on any other system other than the godless system. Now look, I done got up to 15 minutes. I don't even know if I was going to say all that stuff. But I just got into it. Let me see if I missed any notes. I really want to say, send my condolences out to those people who have had some relative or friend or someone that you know, or just the families of the people who have passed on because of this situation, this coronavirus. And for those of you who are sick, prayers are going up. If they ever work for a situation like this, you would think it would. And so we're asking that you will be able to recover and come back out into the society and engage yourself in a brand new system, because we should change this thing. We should change it. Why should we change it? Give you one more reason. You see this coronavirus thing? They separate you, tell you shut down your city, shut down your town, go home, lock up. They ain't said that yet, but in some of those movies you see them doing it. And I don't care what government you got. You can be Democratic, you can be communist, you can be anything you want to be. You can have the biggest guns, the biggest bombs, the biggest planes, anything that you want to have. But I guarantee you, you ain't got the power that this coronavirus has until you are given it. And there ain't nothing you can do about it. So if that exists, that means you just think that powerful. You're not as powerful as you think you are. And we should see you as not that powerful. So why should we let you control us? Well, we should let you control us because we don't know any other source. We don't know God. We got a book of somebody telling us about God. And we act like a stupid fool, thinking that if that book is supposed to represent God, it doesn't. Why? Because people like Donald Trump, Putin, them, they run the world. You think they would let a book be out, something that would free you, open up your mind and set you free? They would be out there putting that stuff out there for you. You got to be smart. You need to buy 2 or 3 different bridges that don't exist. Now, would they allow that material to get out? Of course they would. Because they know you're hell-bent by it. Why do you think they sell drugs? Because they know you will get addicted and they can control you, manipulate you. So now they got a book because they see you are looking for some power that you can't see. They figure you got to be a fool. So what you say, they ain't buying any of it. But you do. And the way you see it is one way. But they seem, since you don't know, to manipulate that and allow the message that they want out through that religiosity to do the purpose in you that is required to see them going forward. And you can't even see that. You think that God spoke to people back there and put it in a book. Somebody put it in a book, because they didn't put it in no book then. And all of a sudden, stop talking to people, close it off, and say, make sure the world gets this. This is how the future's gonna know me. This great God who's watching everything we do, always here, can't talk to us. Some fool told us that, and we were more foolish by believing it. And rather than you come telling me, well, God is beautiful and God is whatever, and what God has done, you come telling me my Bible said, get out of my face. I wouldn't listen to anybody. Now, what I'm saying to you, I grew up under the Bible. I grew up under it. But I tell you one thing. Even in the Bible, the stuff that they were talking about, even the good stuff, you saw people doing that. Where? That people were just as hypocritical as you can ever imagine. I know we were. I know we were. I'm not trying to say you. I'm talking about us. And we still are. But see, you don't have to be hypocritical with God if you know the truth. There ain't no more fun than you can have with anything than you can have with God. God is fun. But people will tell you that you can't have no fun. Why? So you can hate God. Oh, I didn't mean to be talking about God. I was talking about, I want you to pay attention to what's going on, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to end here. I'm not going to try to wrap it up and tell you the rest of it. I'll get a chance probably later on in the week to come back and finish addressing this to a different level and make it clear for a different audience. But for you, I want to say thank you very much for this time, and I'm going to close it saying good night.